at the same time. I think it's always really interesting to see the strategies and thought process roll out as both runners get started here with a more trolley seed that goes 70, 80, 90 minutes or maybe more. What about you?
I mean, I always hope for the silvers behind Dagoma in 9, but I know that's never going to happen. But we do see some dark nuts and Gurias on the.
So we see you're absolutely right, and we see both runners actually get their bomb drops in both. So RK headed into the Vanilla 3 location, which turns out to be level. Eunos making his way into level 2 as well.
That's not a fun room to just walk into.
No, so we're seeing some Pole's voice here, along with some Lionels in the dungeons.
The combat looks tough tonight, especially coming right into a Gleeok. That's not a Gleeok. I don't know name.
That's an Aqua Menace over on Eunos' side, as RK takes a death. When you have Lionels in a room with Pole's voice and some turrets firing at you, also, very difficult room combat-wise, as Eunos also takes a death. So you're absolutely right. We could be seeing some difficult combat here early on in level 2.
I wonder if the runners, if this is what it looks like so far, if Wizrubs get thrown into the mix with this set of dungeon enemies, I'd go for that blue ring, though rkctkc just found their first Triforce on the.
So yeah, early Triforce for RK. We'll see if RK goes back in. He does. We got a map over on Eunos' side. Looks a little bit like a boot.
It's not. It just looks like a normal shoe.
So we have a heart container on the floor in the upper right of this trap room.
Oh no, those gels are beefy.
Yeah, those gels take in 2 hits each as RK gets his map, and we have a book as the second item in level 2.
So literacy has been found.
Gotta have a love for literacy. The Atlas chat is asking, in this set, doesn't really do too much. If you find the magic wand, it does add flame capabilities to the end of where your beam on your wand fires. In other flag sets in Rando, the book can provide you with all the maps for all the dungeons, but not in this set of flags that we're playing this evening.
Does the book also provide you the boomstick?
It does not.
I'm getting my flags mixed up.
Yeah, so to review the flags for this tournament for brackets, we have dungeons shuffled, so they are in their vanilla locations, but as RK finds their heart container on the floor, still looking for the book. So dungeons are in their vanilla locations, but can be shuffled. So that's why we see level 2 here at the vanilla 3 location. We also have shapes. So the maps and the configuration of the maps in each of these dungeons will be slightly different than their standard configurations generated randomly. All the maps of each levels fits together, similar to how they fit together in the vanilla run. And we have, as you mentioned before, the beefy gels, so hit point shuffle on as well. So we may see enemies be plus or -2 of what they normally are.
Well, we did see a mid secret of 26 rupees, which isn't bad, but it could be worse. But it's still bad.
Could be better. And then the last flag we have is enemy shuffle. So that's why we're seeing Lionels in the dungeons. We haven't yet seen Wizrobes, I don't believe, but there's the possibility of those enemy sets as we see Wizrobes on RK side and Eunos picking up his Triforce. of enemies appearing in areas they normally don't.
You had to open your mouth because you commentator cursed them.
I did.
And one's in a vanilla spot.
So one's in its vanilla spot, and if you look on Eunos' side, he pulled off this trick in, I believe, game 1, and I think we saw it in game 2 as well to get his candle. The money-making game hack. So Eunos picking up a quick 50 rupees in an effort to find his candle.
So how did he manipulate it so he could get the winning thing for the money-making game?
So if you reset the console and find the right cue, you're able to essentially manipulate the frames so that he can walk right over to the money-making game, and as long as he's frame perfect, he can always land on the plus 50 or plus 40, whatever is presented to him. So Eunos getting his Triforce in 1 as well.
So we have a sea room. Hopefully this reveals a staircase. Is it going to reveal a staircase? Yes, it does, but I don't know if that's going to be a transport or not.
So it's a red candle for RK. So the money-making game manip that Eunos did, he could use the rupees later on for maybe a bomb upgrade or something else, but he'll get his red candle, I would imagine, as he digs out this 1. Yeah, red candle, the staircase item, and
Eunos could probably invest it into a blue ring, or if it's required, some wooden arrow.
yeah, he seems more of the variety to go for maybe wooden arrows. Eunos is one of the top vanilla runners in the world, incredibly skilled at combat. Has run all sorts of different flavors of this game. Unlikely candidate to buy a blue ring, would obviously pick up the red ring as he gets his red candle, but we'll see.
So rkctkc just took a death to some Wizrobes Lionels. I didn't catch what it was that dealt the killing blow, and is leaving 1 with 2 items behind.
Yeah, so I don't believe we've seen either floor item. I believe this is the bait block on Eunos' side, so bait may not be an issue. A blue boomerang on the floor that Eunos is probably going to skip.
Does Eunos on Lord Banana's side, or is it on the magical boomerang?
I don't think Eunos is the type to pick up either, at least at this point. If he's going to pick up something, maybe the Lord Banana, but typically isn't much of a boomerang type of.
Though these dark nuts are just being a bit difficult tonight. Stabbing and taking the.
So Eunos picks up his wood arrow, so the money-making game manip not going to waste as we get a potential look at our Armos item, but it is not in its traditional location, so that will be over towards the level 2, level 8 area, Armos.
So it's going to be in the forest near start.
So this is interesting. We have RK headed towards the Vanilla 9 location, and Eunos headed towards level 6, or the Vanilla level 6 location. RK finding the real level 6, and Eunos finding level.
Eunos finds 6 at 9. No, not Eunos, RK. And we have some likes on our RK screen. We also have not 2. They're not 1 hit, but they're not beef.
So we could have a ladder. Let's see. Yeah, we could have a ladder block here in level 5 if there's not a transport that goes north of that river room, as RK finds his bow.
That's nice. Though, chat, we forgot to introduce our favorite game on here right now since it's shapes. Name that ink blot. I see some of you think it's a paint roller. I just think it's someone Naruto.
I like the paint roller. I was thinking question mark initially as Eunos bails out of level 5. I think he took a bop there, so he'll restart again.
Did you just soft flop?
He did. I think he took damage right when he was trying to do a screen scroll, so got stuck in the rocks.
Oof. Though those moblins do not look friendly tonight.
So RK finding a heart container. So we've seen both items in level 6 here. Got a heart container on the floor. A bow is the staircase item. So RK just looking for their level 6 Triforce to get out of here.
And we just saw a large secret of 131 rupees on Eunos' screen. That is a nice find because that means a potential investment into the blue ring. I doubt it, but if we have a bait block, you never know when you're gonna need.
Yeah, rupees can always come in handy. As Eunos got his Armos item, which is another heart container. So Eunos up to 6 hearts will be guaranteed his white sword item when he goes and checks it. As he makes his way up to vanilla level 2, which turns out to be level 7.
So, ooh, I just saw some fast danger noodles on level 6. And I think they're gonna be here as well because they have the same enemy set.
Yeah, so Arcade doing a good job of evading those blue land moles.
Well, is it just me, or with Eunos' texture packet for the sprites, those look more like pancakes than usual.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a really really nice clip into the river tiles by RK to ensure that they can take care of those blue land molas.
Well, I guess those Stalfos aren't really spooky, scary skeletons tonight.
So it'll be interesting if keys become a factor in this run. Both runners currently sitting at 1 as RK sees a blue Goma. We haven't seen a compass yet in level 6, so there's always the possibility that blue Goma could be protecting the Triforce.
And the compass, because that can happen. Though, what does that level 6 ink plot look like to you?
I don't even know.
It looks like a decapitated snowman.
So we have another heart container here for Eunos. Actually opts not to take.
I mean, Eunos is a low percent vanilla player, so I think Eunos is fine going with 3 hearts or a little.
Yeah, in the previous run, Eunos did not pick up his red ring until encountering some more difficult combat in level 9. Was out of bombs earlier this afternoon, decided while out for bombs to pick up his red ring. So Eunos certainly skilled enough to complete this run with just 6 hearts.
So we do see a Gleeok on RK screen, and Eunos just rocked past that manhandle.
So yeah, Eunos trying to make his way over to the Triforce in 7. Still looking for his floor item in 7.
For all we know, it could be the recorder.
And RK finding their compass, so once he takes care of these beefy keys, they'll have their Triforce in 6 and we'll be on their way.
Did RK check that staircase before, or was that just a trip?
I don't believe he did, but the staircase item was the bow, which RK did find. So RK cleared all the items in level 6. And Eunos finds his Triforce in level 7, so each runner sitting currently at 3 Triforce. Have not seen the second item yet in level 7, as far as I'm aware, which is the floor item. So there was a heart stair, or a stair heart rather, which Eunos opted not to take.
And RK, I think, picked up that large secret and is now at 255 rupees, which is a special number in this game because it is the max amount of rupees you can carry. I don't know why it's 255, probably because the programming couldn't handle more, but 255 is quite a lot of.
So RK will be headed to the Vanilla 8 location soon. Just checking the coast shop, which is where the arrows are. So RK also picks up the wooden arrows. We'll get a peek at the ladder item, which is the recorder in this run. So both runners probably pretty happy to know that their recorder will be accessible to them once they find their ladder.
But that also means the ladder is required. And RK is in level.
So chat mentioning the floor item on 7 is a heart, so 2 hearts in level 7, which Eunos did pick up that one. As we get our first look at level 8.
Ugh! That level 8 looks terrifying.
So yeah, if the items in 8, of which there are 2 staircase items and 1 floor item, those are pretty deep in the dungeon. These runners could be here for a little bit of time, depending on what those items are.
Though, is it just me? Are we been lacking segments and levels this?
Yeah, so far I don't believe we've seen a segment. And this is a 32 room level 8, so moderate size, which also means that level 7 will have the imprint of this level, so level 7 will also be about 30 rooms or so given this map layout. So both runners get an idea. I know Eunos has already been in level 7 as he takes a death on his side from a blue Lionel. Both runners, at least RK here, getting an idea of what's in store for level 7 when they get there.
These dungeons have not been nice to these runners tonight whatsoever.
Yeah, with the we've seen Wizrobes in, I believe, level 1, and RK actually making good use of the bow here. So picking up the wood arrows was a great play for RK, making quick work of those Pole's voice. So I would actually say now that RK has their wooden arrows and we're in a dungeon here where we're starting to see some enemies who can be wiped out pretty quickly with arrows on the floor, slight combat advantage to RK.
Oh, Eunos. The only difference between Eunos and RK, I mean, besides the Triforce count, Triforces they've gotten, is really RK has the bow and Eunos doesn't, and this bow can make up a lot of time due to it only taking one shot to kill the bunnies. And the pose voices. If there's any Gomas, they will be dealt with, and it's gonna it'll save a lot of time.
Absolutely. And RK making great work of the Gleeok. That three-headed Gleeok.
Shoot.
So RK building up their count on the old man so that they could force a bomb possibly in this next room.
Don't Dark Nuts drop bombs?
Red Dark Nuts do. Blue Lionel's also in the bomb dropping group. Unfortunately, RK, I think, got hit by a bubble right before the Blue Lionel would have dropped their bomb. So RK down to one bomb here. And with there being a shutter door here, no chance of that room being a staircase room.
No ladder block. Everything is A-OK.
So we got a bomb upgrade of 103. Arcade takes advantage of.
That's a whopping +5 out of the maximum +6 for bomb upgrades. That's 130 rupees well spent.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal bomb upgrade for RK, and we're starting to see why having the bow is so important for RK right now, as Eunos is making relatively quick work of these pulls voice with a wood sword, but RK was able to clear this room in a mere couple of seconds compared to Eunos spending 15, 20, 25 seconds.
So Eunos just found the compass on the floor on the plate. So Eunos knows exactly where that Triforce is. Oh, both runners have it. I'm blind.
Yep, so RK was rewarded with the compass when clearing out that Pulls voice room, as RK takes a death just shy of getting their Triforce.
But we still haven't seen... have we seen the items in 8 yet, or no? I'm not...
I haven't seen an item in 8 yet, so we're looking for 2 staircase items and a floor item. So all we've seen so far is the compass is the only really important item that's dropped thus far.
Though that means, from what I've noticed on the exploration from both players, is that I think all the items are going to be in the top half of that level.
Yeah, you're right. It's looking more and more like that northeast quadrant.
So that's not going to be nice if you take a death up there. And also, I believe when you get far away from certain enemies, they will respawn. Eunos has, for those of you asking in chat, Eunos has not been to 6 yet. Otherwise, he would have had his bow. Though we see Eunos exiting level 8 and is heading more for overworld exploration. I hope Eunos goes to level 6. Though Eunos is going to get the same information RK has about that recorder being the coast item, with the ladder being required.
Yeah, Eunos had not taken a peek at the coast yet, so a bit of valuable information here for Eunos, as he will likely head up to the level 5 location, Vanilla 5 location. That So levels 3, 4, and 9 still outstanding.
Whoa,
As
that's
we
a
got
nice find.
As RK finds their magical key. So no more key issues for RK.
And with that bomb upgrade, I don't think there's going to be any bomb issues.
Yeah, so bomb upgrade, bow, and magical key being the key item differences, pun intended, absolutely. And Eunos gets his ladder, so very quickly that item advantage for RK shrinks in the blink of an eye as Eunos is able to get his ladder. Will probably make his way over to level 5's location, but then more importantly, he can get his recorder after taking care of this vanilla 5.
Maybe, and after that, Eunos might head up to vanilla 9 and get his ladder in there. Not ladder, bow.
That's right. So vanilla or level 3 is here at the vanilla 5 location.
Those Linos really rolled up tonight because RK has been having a hard time with them and they've been nailing him. Oh, shoot.
So RK is still looking for another staircase item, as well as a potential floor item here.
I think I don't know. I'm not going to say it. I think we're ladder blocked.
So even though this Gleeok here that RK is fighting has 2 heads, with the configuration of the blocks in this room, it turns out to be a really tough way to fight Gleeok as RK takes a death and Eunos finds a power break.
Le Croissant is in level 3. No, not that's Spanish. Level 3.
So RK bailing out of level 8 without the Triforce. They'll have to go back there at some point to get it. Checking the Armos item here, realizing that that was an option available to them, and probably is a little bit disappointed to find a heart container.
Though RK has guts because he is navigating that overworld with half a heart, and I really hope they get to the white sword item so they can pick up their ladder.
Yeah, so RK getting a potion and navigating this area with half a heart. I understand the idea of wanting to go back and get that level 8 Triforce with the potion. Or actually, RK headed to Vanilla 2, which we know to be level 7.
So, the only thing that we have that's required for Go mode besides the silvers that we haven't found yet anywhere is the raft. So they're almost in Go mode, but not quite.
So yeah, it's possible. I mean, there are... Let's see, there's a floor item in 1. We're still looking for the floor item in level 3. We know level 4 to be either under Recorder Lake or at its vanilla location. And then there are 2 items still outstanding in level 5. And another staircase and a floor item still in level 8. So plenty of areas the raft could be. I wouldn't be surprised if 9 was located at Vanilla 4's location and level 4 was under Recorder Lake, but we'll see. We'll see if keys become a factor at all for Eunos. I know Eunos currently has 2, but now down to.
Though that any key still is going to save a lot of time. But while Eunos has the ladder and will eventually be guaranteed that recorder, is that going to make up enough time to be worth more than the bow and 6 that Eunos hasn't gone to yet? Because Vanilla 9 is very isolated compared with those other.
That's a good question. Obviously, we'll have to see how this plays out. So Eunos probably headed to the Vanilla 9 location as RK finds the staircase heart in level 6. And chat mentioning as well as can't find bombs. I think also mentioned there was a boomerang as the other floor item in level 3. So both items in level 3 discovered as Eunos pops into level 6, where we know the staircase item will be his bow.
Though I think seeing that bow might speed Eunos up a little bit, because while the ladder gives him an edge and guarantees the recorder, Eunos is also going to be thinking, did RK hit 6 before Eunos did 30 minutes into the...
Yeah, it might speed him up a little bit. There's Eunos' Triforce as he finds his bow. So Eunos grabs the Triforce. I would not be surprised to see Eunos bounce here.
It is the right play. And Eunos does, and up in A's back to start.
So Eunos has his power bracelet. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pop back up to level 5's location. Or maybe not.
So RK is still taking their time and exploring level 7.
So Eunos could be headed back to level 8 if he's going along the coast here, but he did pick up... Oh no, he did not pick up the recorder, so that's... I thought Eunos had picked up the recorder at some point, haven't gotten his ladder, so we'll see Eunos do a little bit of HUD clipping here.
So Eunos does have the Triforce advantage at the moment. And has the recorder. So that means for the levels Eunos didn't completely clear out, Eunos has a fast way back to them, which will save quite a bit of time instead of just walking back.
That's right. Eunos did not get the Triforce though in level 8, so still has to dig out the Triforce here, but I would not be surprised if he's going after that right now. And
RK, it's 35 minutes in, and RK still hasn't made their way to the white sword spot. Heck, RK's coming close to magical sword heart rate.
So my guess is RK will check the white sword item here before going into level 5. Actually, maybe dipping into level 5 first before checking the white sword item.
So I believe that's the forgotten spot, and RK just screen scrolled into that 5-3.
So a power bracelet and boomerang waiting for RK here.
So, from looking at this, I really think the raft is going to be the deciding item in this.
Yeah, it could very well. I mean, obviously we know it's a required item. Silver's also could be in 9 again. We don't know that. So I think raft will be. I think both of those items will be key, obviously, in terms of seeing who's able to pull ahead here.
Is it just me, or did Eunos just skip over that bomb upgrade? And he gets it, and gets the news about that 5 bomb.
So RK making quick work of those moblins, those blue moblins, with the bow. Sees the Triforce in 3, decides to do a little bit more exploring.
So, Eunos, once he gets the Triforce out of this level 8, is he going to explore the rest of 8 for the other 2 items, is the question.
Yeah, it is a good question. Eunos is 37 minutes in here. These past 2 seeds have been a little bit trolly. I would imagine he's probably gonna, since he's over this deep into 8 and hasn't yet picked up his Triforce and is headed east, that we're gonna see a little bit more exploration here from you.
Isn't it always funny finding all the keys on the ground after you have the enemy?
Yeah. Yeah, Eunos finding all the keys since acquiring his magical key as he sees his shoot room.
And Arcade contains his croissant. Oui, oui.
Now, Eunos has his ladder. This is where RK was actually ladder blocked before, so it's not that RK didn't want to, or wasn't able to find the items. RK was actually ladder blocked.
And Eunos beautifully bombed those Dodongos.
So here's a opportunity here for Eunos. Finds a transport stair.
Eunos could take the lead now.
So that transport stair just warping him two rows north and 2 rows east, or 2 columns east.
Not that it mattered much.
So floor items still at large.
Wow.
As it's a white sword in that room in the far lower right corner. So Eunos certainly will not be going after any sort of magical sword, not that he probably would have anyways, but probably pretty happy to see at least a white sword.
So this means Eunos, with the combat upgrade and the amount of hits enemies now take, Eunos is going to be going much.
Absolutely, and still looking for that elusive staircase in level 8. Wondering what that third item could be.
I mean, for all we know, it could be in the Triforce room.
Yeah, I don't know if either runner has actually gone into the Triforce room. I know it was blocked by a Gleeok.
So what I want to know is why Eunos is taking the staircase back instead of exploring that other room.
So Eunos did explore the 5 rooms in the 2 right-hand columns. So I think he's seen all the rooms here. I think actually the one room he hasn't seen is the Triforce room, as you alluded to earlier. As RK is now headed for their white sword item, which will be the ladder. Something RK, I'm sure, will be very happy to see.
I hope RK gets into gear because the clock is ticking since Eunos has that white sword and the any key and the bow and the ladder.
Any sort of advantage that RK had maybe 15 minutes ago, having the bow. And it's a heart container. It's the 3rd item in level. So yeah, any advantage that RK had with the bow and the any key slipping away very quickly here. So we still have 2 items at large in level 5, and 1 in level 4, or 1 in level 1, the floor item, or a floor item. And then we haven't seen level 4 yet, so we know that if level 4 turns out to be in the raft location, then we know that it cannot house the raft. So we'll learn very quickly here which level the raft will be in as Eunos heads back to level 5.
I really hope that level 4 is in its final spot because it's going to mean the runners must have missed something.
So now that RK has their ladder, they are back in level 8 with the hopes of finding the remaining 2 items they did not pick up earlier, along with their Triforce.
So what is Dig Dogger hating today?
I actually don't know. I don't have my audio on, so I'm not sure what the audio tune was. Maybe someone in chat.
So RK is getting really risky with that 1 heart and is able to make it through, but what awaits in that? But there's still gonna have to fight that Gleeok. Not just in this room, but also the Triforce.
So chat mentioning Marble Madness is the recorder tune. So RK using the potion so that they can make quick work of this Gleeok. Probably wishes they had the white sword to make that battle go a little bit quicker.
But RK doesn't know it's the white sword. So I believe the white sword is in this room? I don't remember.
This room houses the Triforce, and then a heart is the stair item here. The white sword is in the bottom room in the rightmost column.
I don't think RK might be heading out of the way for that waiver.
Yeah, I don't blame RK being 45 minutes in, still needing 2 more pieces of the Triforce. But unfortunately, we know that the white sword would be a big help to RK.
But RK is almost at magical sword range, so RK could take a gamble.
Certainly possible. And we're probably going to see RK head up to the Vanilla 7 location, so we'll get our first look at what Recorder Lake houses after RK picks up a large secret over here in the Lost Woods area.
Though chat brings up a good point about if the silvers proves to be elusive, 8 is going to be a horrible place to redig for RK.
So I think in that scenario, as we find level 4 here, so with level 4 being under Recorder Lake, Raft certainly at play here, as well as silvers. So we'll see. We know RK is only silvers and a Raft from being in go mode. This could give RK a little bit of an advantage that they need right now to pull ahead in this race. I think Eunos still has a little bit of the advantage here, having the white sword and getting closer to having Dugout 5.
But I think RK is going to take a hug from that Patra real soon.
Yeah, so tough room to be in without any sort of defense.
And RK takes a death, and back to start he goes. And we still see Eunos exploring level 5. And soon, once Eunos finishes exploring 5 and gets the Triforce out of there, they'll be heading level 4. And then I really think the silvers are going to be in 9. But will they be go blocked? Who knows? I might get my wish tonight.
Yeah, the seed starting to be a little bit more trolly to the runners. So we may get a look at a staircase item here for Eunos, which is another heart container.
That Patra in a reverse C room. Yikes.
So we may get a look at another item here in 4, which is a heart container.
I think this practically guarantees silvers. Oh, no, we haven't seen the wand yet.
Haven't seen a wand. I think there's one more heart container out. Silvers and a Raft.
So the question
and a red ring, that's right.
What are you going to do once you get all those Triforces? Are you going to go straight to level 9 to take the gamble because it is the more item dense place? Are you going to do a quick visit to level 1 or in level 4, level 5 to just double check your items over there and then GTFO to level?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think each runner has their own strategy as to what they're comfortable with. Personally, I like the idea of checking out 9, digging it out anyways, because you're going to need to find Zelda and find where Ganon is. As RK finds the red ring on the floor in level 4. So RK very happy to find that item, having to deal with these Patras here, as well as some tough combat.
So Eunos found the raft somewhere. Oh, the raft's in level 5. So that means RK will be stumbling across that soon. So I think with the red ring just being found, and we found a heart container in 5, I think this is practically just about guarantees that the silvers are going to be a 9 with the wand.
So we got a 2 in 3 chance. Still have the one floor item in one, so I think this race could ultimately come down to who finds silvers first.
Or who makes the play back to 1 and who heads straight to 9.
Exactly. I think that's what it will come down to. I think if either runner goes to 9 first and finds their silvers there, they're going to have a significant advantage. I could see RK maybe going back to 1. Seems like the type to go into 9, not afraid to dig out 9 if necessary. We're hitting the 50-minute mark, 51-minute mark here, so both runners starting to feel the pressure.
So, with Eunos just leaving that Triforce line behind, RK is going to eventually find that Triforce. So, with the silvers practically being guaranteed in 9, the question, well, they could be in 1, but the question is, if you want to go through 1, which is less rooms, and only one precise area you need to dig, or do you want to go through that huge blob that's level 9 and go with the item density play? That is probably going to be the deciding choice of this match.
Yeah, I agree completely. So Eunos picks up his red ring, so he will be perfectly content to finish out this race with 6 hearts. RK maybe could make a play for Mags. I don't know. Probably more of a possibility, given that they only have 10 hearts and a wood sword. But these are the types of decisions that could make or break a race. 52 minutes in, is it worth going back over to level 5? I mean, I guess the raft is there. RK will need to go get their raft anyways. You have a 1 in 5 shot right now at getting Mags, so we might see a Mags check here.
So, Eunos better be watching how much arrows he shoots, because he's running low on root.
So RK gonna roll the dice and see if Mags are worth 10. They are! That is phenomenal!
Oh my! This could change everything!
That is a huge pickup for RK. Not missing out on the white sword after all in level 8.
This is a race. Well, we know it's a race, but it's gonna be really, really close now.
So this could become very interesting because RK is going to find their raft here. I mean, obviously we know they have to get their Triforce. But I have to imagine RK is going to dig out the item here in 5. I believe RK was here before. They were just ladder blocked. So I think they're going to be here in 5 looking for both items.
It's a 9! Silvers are a 9, but sadly they can't be Goma blocked unless I get really, really lucky and my hopes go up and then they shatter like a...
So yeah, both items... Well, both runners have arrows, so they... the staircase... So both items in 9 are staircase items, so... Goma could be blocking them, but with both runners having the bow and wooden arrows, at least that Goma block will not last very long.
So Eunos is deciding to go check level 1 just to make sure it is not the silver.
So the question is, if silvers are not here in level 1, and if RK makes a gamble that silvers are in 9, which the meta play is, it's taken Eunos 55 minutes so far, as silvers are the floor item in 1.
Oh, jeez.
So Eunos has everything he needs to complete the seed. We'll be headed to the raft island here for level 9.
So, Were the silvers accessible the first time they visited one?
No, I believe they were ladder blocked, or in some way both runners were blocked. So yeah, I believe they were both ladder blocked.
Okay, just making sure it wasn't a forgetfulness thing.
So you want to tell our runners, or our viewers rather, what these runners are looking for here in level 9?
Well, we're going to be looking for a couple things. First, we're going to be listening for Ganon roaring, because apparently Ganon likes to be really, really loud. And next, we're going to be looking for a shutter door that doesn't open once you defeat all the enemies in it, or if you defeated Ganon, where the shutter door opens without defeating the enemies. Then you found the girl. And that's all there is.
And since Eunos here is playing with a Link's Awakening sprite set, he's actually playing as Marin looking for Bow Wow, as RK finds the heart in level 5, still looking for the raft.
I really hope they pick up the raft soon. And I hope Zelda isn't easy to find. Oh, RK got the raft.
Okay, RK got, I guess, got their raft and gets a Triforce in 5. So the question is, what will RK do from here? Will RK go back to 1, which we know to be the right play, or being 56, 57 minutes in, do they roll the dice and head to level 4's vanilla location? It looks like they're rolling the dice.
He's going to 9. Rip. I believe RK just sealed his fate.
Yeah, certainly not looking good here for RK.
It's a terrible fate you've met, haven't you? Wrong, randomizer.
So RK seeing a heart container, which is actually a slight positive. Now it's a 50-50 shot that silvers are in 9.
Well, RK never dug out 8 completely, and also, hopefully RK takes that as the warning sign it is.
Yeah, and I think then the question in RK's mind, you're absolutely right. RK did not see the white sword as Eunos is at his Ganon fight. He's got a nice stun lock here, and soon we'll have his second Triforce.
You mean bacon and Pringles. So where is Zelda is the big question now.
So Eunos opting to check right here at start, maybe in hopes of finding a magical staircase to Bow Wow.
Did that just happen? Oof, that was real broom. Though RK did find Zelda.
So we got a compass for RK. So Eunos just needs to make his way up to the northwest of this level 9.
Well, the question is it... Well, we know it's accessible via just walking and everything, but is it accessible via magic staircase?
Yeah, I did not see the path that RK had taken to get up to the northwest. but must be a staircase in one of these 11 rooms accessible from start.
Though hopefully if RK discovers the second item here, maybe that could, Eunos trying to find Zelda, or the route to Zelda, could give RK the time to redeem himself.
Yeah, at this rate, I think RK's best chances are hoping that somehow Eunos mismarked his map.
But RK is still not leaving 9.
So here's our bait room.
But is Eunos gonna leave 9 to get the bait?
So Eunos about 2 rooms away to the west. And this could be... Oh, he goes south instead of west. If Eunos is able to... Actually, if he goes south again instead of going west. So Eunos in 2 rooms that could have led him to Zelda.
Apparently, Eunos is directionally challenged, and RK finally finds that item in level 9. It is going to up an A out. The question is RK going to go... Oh, never mind. This game's over. Eunos is the girl.
It doesn't even matter. Get your GGs out in chat. As Eunos advances on to the round of 8, having found Bow Wow here in game 3. So yeah,
Eunos will be facing Sci-Town next.
That's right. Sci-Town able to take out TGE in the round of 16 and their best of 3. Also a great series. As RK back in level. So Eunos finishes here with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 25 seconds. And RK forfeiting from the race. So get your GGs out in chat for rkctkc as well. Both of these runners giving us a hell of a show here in this quarterfinal matchup.
A hell of a show indeed.
I'm sorry, round of 16 matchup.
So, are they coming in for interviews? Is the $1 million question.
So we may be joined by the runners here momentarily. So I think looking back on the seed, as we have both runners in the waiting room, so we'll have both runners here momentarily, and we can get their thoughts on what they thought of game 3.
It all came down to 9 or 1.
We're joined here by Eunos. GG's to you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
GG is like...
And we have RK as well. Congratulations to you on a good gameplay. So why don't you guys tell us what you thought of that game 3?
There seemed to be a good path to go, but I didn't take it.
I don't know that I took it either. Like, full cleared 8 and 5 made some mistakes. Yeah, a lot of mistakes. But I don't know.
It
I
all
know.
actually came down to deciding whether to go to 9 for the silvers, look for the silvers, or 1 to check that last item for the silvers. And as we know, and you know, Eunos, that the silvers were that 4 item in 1.
Yeah. The other thing I wasn't probably going to check was the floor item in 6th because there's a quick Triforce and I already had the basement item.
Yeah, so the floor item there was another heart container, so certainly the right play there. And I think early on in the seed, there's a little bit of a route divergence. As I think Eunos, you headed into level 5 when RK was headed into level 6. So RK got his bow a little bit earlier than you did. Was able to leverage wooden arrows with some of those Pole's voice. You did get the ladder a little bit earlier than RK to pull even and then ahead, and it was pretty close for the latter half of the race. As you mentioned, Eunos having to dig out 8 and 5 a bit more. And then, yeah, I think RK, it just really came down to at the end, rolling the dice as to where silvers were. Unfortunately, they were the floor item in 1. I think had you made that decision, would have been another really close finish, searching for Zelda or Bow Wow. Just unfortunately wasn't the way the seed rolled out for you.
I'd contemplated going back to 1, several times, but when I went in there the first time, the combat was pretty hard, so I left.
Yeah, I think was it level 4 was where you guys finally saw a couple Patras, and the combat looked to be pretty hellish to start there, but I bet both of you were probably pretty happy to find your red rings just laying there on the floor for the taking.
Yeah, it was a little late, though.
Yeah, it was. It would have been nice earlier, but oh well.
So, Eunos, you get Scytown in the round of 8 next, the quarterfinals. Any thoughts on that as you look forward to the next?
That's cool, I guess. That'll be all right.
Yeah, Scytown had a really great series against the Greenhouse Effect. And what's next for you here, RK, is you unfortunately leave the tournament here.
Well, apparently I'm walking.
All right. Well, GG's again to both of you. This was a very entertaining series. I think this was probably the least trollish of the 3 seeds. I know your games 1 and 2 probably went longer than both of you would have liked, but both really entertaining matches, and this one also proved to be the same. So thank you for a great series here for all of us to watch.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, and and K-Tap, any last thoughts here on this seed this evening?
It was a nice match, and I'm glad to see Eunos moving on, because I can't wait to see another match from him against Scytown, since those two are both amazing and I've seen both of their races. I just hope that it goes to game 3. And GG to both of you. I'm glad you guys gave it your all tonight. And good luck for future endeavors.
All right, and any last thoughts, guys, before we wrap up here?
Hey, good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, I'll need it.
All right, GG's to both of you again. And the next match we have here in the tournament will be, looks like tomorrow evening, Crystal Saver versus Redbird Grad. Game 2 will be at 9 o'clock Eastern here on Randomania, so please come back for that one. That series features Crystal Saver at a 1-0 lead currently over Redbird Grad. And then game 3 to follow immediately after if Redbird can pull out a victory in game 2.
Well, I hope it is, because I remember their last matchup was the tournament final. Last time.
Yeah, I'm personally pulling for Redbird Grad only because I want to see him dye his hair. So we'll see. And chat calling out. I believe I called TGE Greenhouse Effect instead of Greenleaf Effect. My apologies there to TGE. But anyways, this has been Bogey Smalls for KTAP here. Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you all again tomorrow evening.